Yo, I'm Austin, and welcome to the month of Final Fantasy. Have you ever played Final Fantasy 5? Well, if not, you should, because it's really good. But have you heard that it had a sequel?
It's likely that you had no clue, as Final Fantasy V didn't even have a proper release over here until 1999 as part of a compilation. Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals is an anime OVA that takes place 200 years after the adventure of Bartz and his crew. I find it very strange that we localized the anime sequel to a game we never had. I'm just gonna blame Final Fantasy VII, as they came out in the same year. It was a VHS-only release and was never brought to any other format. Shit's pretty obscure at this point. I mean, the only reason I even know of its existence is because 10-year-old trashy anime me found it in a rental store. I think my mom and the cashier thought it was one of them hentais, but I convinced them otherwise.
It's been ages since I've seen this, which is probably a bad thing. But let's do it anyway.
So, Legend of the Crystals is a 4-episode OVA that runs about an hour 40. Popping it in, we're greeted with a beautiful rendition of the Final Fantasy V main theme, and that makes me hopeful. Considering it's a sequel, I had no idea as to what was going on when I was younger, but now that I'm a grown-ass adult who's finished 5, maybe things will make sense. Right off the bat, the style is actually pretty nice. It takes a minimalistic approach to backgrounds, vaguely similar to that sweet Amano art, but barely. Not much is revealed in the initial prologue, with the exception of old people freaking out, and that's when we're introduced to a queen and some old dude.
Tell me, Blue Mage, what does it mean?
I'm glad we're treating mages like people.
The wind says that darkness is coming.
Okay, maybe he doesn't deserve to be treated like a person. Since when can blue mages fully comprehend a natural occurring element? Or, you know, maybe it's that giant black sphere in the horizon. Yeah, that's perfectly normal. Their babble goes on for a while as people keep talking about the wind, speaking to them like some kind of cult until we finally meet our protagonists, Lenali and Pretz. We're only 4 minutes in and everything is so vague. Girl blindly goes with grandfather on a secret mission, annoying boy wants to come along, sounds exactly like Tenchi Masaki because it's the same voice actor.
That does it! I'm coming with you! What's the matter with you? Are you deaf? Come back here right now!
Oh, watch your step, Fred!
A bit late there, maybe? Pretz continues to stalk them on his motorcycle until he again crashes and burns. It's been a whole minute and we've already seen our main character get slapsticked again. So after ditching Pretz, Lenali's traveling through the middle of a massive desert with no escape on the horizon and suddenly decides to finally ask what they're doing. What kind of person does this? Is she the ultimate along for the ride person? You know, the one who accidentally ends up in North Korea? Grandpa explains something about a wind temple when out of nowhere Ruby Weapon comes out of the ground. But you know what? He's not shit when you're a summoner and can invoke the power of...
Is that a fucking chocobo?
That is the ugliest thing that I've ever seen. How is this a chocobo? He's also a total wuss and decides to unsummon himself, surely leaving our heroes to die, but suddenly Pretz!
Watch out below! Party's over, buggers!
Hi, Pet.
Wait. Did you see all that blood? Pretz fucking decapitated this guy, and she's sitting there with the shittiest of grins on her face like, no man, it's cool.
Poor guy. He had a splitting headache.
Grandpa's old as hell, which means that fall put him out for the rest of the show. A little bit of plot is explained here, but all I can focus on is how cool Pretz wants to be. Look at him leaning with his arms crossed, one leg on the wall, looking slightly upwards. Too bad he's kind of a dingleberry. We get a shot of our unnamed and uninspiring villains that look to be kind of like robots. They do a thing and then cut back to the blue hairs. Oh hey, pirates coming out of the ground. I feel like this would have been a good opportunity to shower us with some kind of Final Fantasy fan service, like, you know, music? But, you know, they don't.
Yeah!
They call me Rouge, I'm queen of the sky, pirates.
Is that really the best take you had?
Hey, listen, Mascara, or whatever you call yourself!
Dude, were you even listening? A chase scene begins and ends in mere moments, and then we're back to boring bullshit. I'm thinking, yo, maybe here I'll see some kind of character development, but instead I got this.
I'm sorry, Pret.
Ooh, she's pretty.
Hasn't it been established that the two of you are friends from childhood? At the beginning, only 11 minutes ago, they were at home in someone named Village. Wait, where the hell is this taking place anyway? There's no setup, just, okay, we on an adventure now. And of course, Pretz waits till she's acting sad to blurt out,
Ooh, she's pretty.
how oblivious are these people? Lanali invokes some kind of magical spirit to guide them to the Wind Temple, and we're finally back on track. But not before Pretz does this. So we're on the set of Mad Max Fury Road, and our heroes begin to approach the Wind Temple, but not before our obligatory panty shot. Twice! No, three, no, four, five times. Holy shit! Final Fantasy, am I right? Let's keep counting. Let's keep track of this. Lanali's rear end saves the day, and we've made it. At this point, a bunch of boring stuff happens, while music that fit right in with Shenmue plays. And panties. While Lanali is figuring out some puzzle to get into the Wind Temple, Pretz has taken the BDSM pirate airship hostage. Come on, dude, she's got it. Gotta have a little faith here. But it wouldn't be an anime without some kind of moron causing drama. Now he's sitting here destroying a temple likely thousands of years old, and our little summoner doesn't care, not even in the slightest. Oh look, more bad guys.
What? Why is the wind in the Valley of the Dragon so still?
That's a good question. Could it possibly be our heroes? Maybe you should go look. Maybe go find out.
I shall be waiting right here for them.
No, okay, that works. Smart. I'd like to say that something interesting happens for the rest of the episode, but instead now we're getting the initial setup. So in the massive black orb floating in the sky, there's a giant brain and a bunch of robots who have 3 of the 4 crystals, and they want the 4th one. That's your plot, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Pretz and Lanali grab the Crystal of the Wind without any trouble from bosses or mobs, by the way. What kind of Final Fantasy is this? Anyway, upon touching it, they have visions of some dead old people, a small child, and a brain. It cuts back to the old blue mage rambling on about the wind and something about impending death for everyone, and things start to get interesting as the crystal rams its way through Lanali's chest, but all drama is cut when her ass starts to glow. How long are you gonna look, dude? And just as promised, Captain Red Baron Wannabe is waiting.
You are under arrest for desecrating the kingdom of Tycoon's most sacred temple!
Ah, Tycoon, that's where we are. This guy is Commander Velkus of the Iron Wing. We've reached a point where the 3 parties are involved in a conflict. Sky Pirates hanging above, snooping in and waiting to make their move. Iron Wing's here to be just-a-see and our glowing-ass heroes. I feel like something awesome is about to happen. And finally, something cool happens. Hot-headed Pretz decides to drive full speed ahead, actually ramming straight into Velkus. This guy's a freaking badass though, as he does a flip and lands a shot without a wasted moment. I do wish he was a better shot though.
You really did it, you fart!
Excuse me? And just when it looks like a huge and awesome fight scene is about to break out, instead the Sky Pirates come, kidnap everyone, and make it boring again. They take their prisoners to a secret facility that looks like a giant water park.
Welcome to Rouge Island. It's humble, but I call it home.
Humble? You'd name the island after yourself. That's pretty conceited, you dick. Rouge wants the Wind Crystal because, well, she just wants one. And how's she gonna get it?
Whip time!
Trying to be cool as hell, Pretz states that he'll dish out any pain twice as hard. What follows is the best thing.
Well, I hate to skip the main course so soon, but I just have to see if you can maintain that attitude while undergoing the most horribly painful sort of torture known to man!
What are BDSM pirates and why are they a thing? It's also revealed that Velkus is a submissive, so there you go, Final Fantasy. Man, how did we go from a tickle scene to someone trying to do some neck snappage? Tone issues, they're just out of control! Pretz gets all feisty though, and now they're in jail with Lanali giving birth to a small child out of her chest. I'm so lost. His name's Mid, the son of Sid from Final Fantasy V, who didn't really do much. Yet somehow he's brought into the world of Legend of Crystals instead of any of the cool characters like Bartz or Ferris. Yeah, okay, he's basically something like a ghost.
You are extremely rude.
Mid tries to explain that evil forces are in motion to take the crystal that Lanali's hiding in her body and unleash their diabolical plan. But it's so basic that even Pretz is just fucking bored. Yeah, he knows what's up. I still hate him.
Oh dear, what shall I do? I can see it in her eyes, she's in love with me.
What? Why is this happening? What is this? Finally, Rouge takes Lanali away to try and surgically remove the Wind Crystal. Pretz and Velkus pretty easily bust out of jail, and Pretz rushes to find Rouge and Lanali just sitting around.
I'm making her drink prune juice.
Yeah, I guess that might aid with the digestion of a Wind Crystal. Pretz cuts the table in half, which also destroys the room, grabs Lanali, and tries to make a break. He better hurry though, cause the boob alarm is ringing. Spoilers, they escape, but only after Pretz scorches the damn place. Just when you think and hope that he died, turns out he survived. I feel like something is missing though. So now we're halfway done with the OVA, and if you can't tell, we've got the most stock selection of one-dimensional characters in the world. All the boys here are a bunch of perverted dumpos. Like, one of them is open about it, the other one is closeted, and one of them's just dead. Lenali doesn't even have a personality, and Rouge is just like, oh, money and BDSM, I guess we're supposed to care about these characters, so let's see what happens next to our band of heroes.
Why am I the only one here who's wearing chains?
Forgive me, Rouge. I have no choice. I must remain resolute in front of my men, but my feelings for you haven't changed. Far from it. They only grow stronger, deeper. Every obstacle that fate places between us only serves to make my love for you burn more brightly, more fiercely.
Maybe he's the dominant.
It's a little late for that, big guy.
This might be a masterpiece. Pretzi and the gang are meeting up with the Queen of Tycoon, who now informs our mid-game Final Fantasy party of the true dangers of the crystals. I still think Pretz should have pulled an Eris, though. Mid is flashbacking to Final Fantasy V!
He helped the great and mighty warrior Bat.
Bat? His name is Butts, and even in the late English translation, it's Bartz. How did they get Bat? Why ruin things further? Anyways, Raw Devil appears and steals Cid's brain and kills Mid, so he's just a spirit wandering around bound to the crystals, but I really wish that Pretz would stop calling him a spook.
That's why you're a spook, isn't it?
So now our heroes finally have a mission, a purpose. They have to go to the Black Moon and kill a dude or something. No one really volunteers for the mission though, until Lenali's grandfather won't stop pestering her about it, and she's like, okay, fine, I'll do it, I guess. Suddenly they're under attack. You'd think the Iron Wings would have some kind of patrol and security around the perimeter of the kingdom to make sure everything's okay, but nah. 13 minutes in, and we get our first panty shot of the episode, and suddenly the pacing is back to normal. Yeehaw! Now we're on the tale of two stories. Pretz and the gang are off to heaven to do a thing, and Valkus and Rouge are leading the defensive charge in an airship battle. Very boring airship battle, I might add. I don't know how you managed to make something like that so bland, but props. Not you again, you're the worst! Why is he naked? Besides the crystals, the Chocobo so far is the only real attachment to Final Fantasy that we have, and they even messed that up! I guess this is the root of all the problems here. This isn't a Final Fantasy anime. This feels more like a random anime that was conjured up with the title of Final Fantasy thrown on at the last second. Mid is our only real connection to 5 here, and it's very barely considering it's 200 years after the original game. It's a cheap tie-in that was likely only brought here because of the success of Final Fantasy VII, and what do we have to show for it? Pretty much this. Imagine the most basic action-adventure anime that you can. Now, toss in some crystals, a couple of familiar terms, an abomination of a chocobo, and that's Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals in a nutshell. Is this panty shot even necessary? You can't even really see it. It's completely pointless.
What the?
Just fuck it. Let's skim the rest of this. They meet a baby dragon. Lenali is kidnapped by Raw Devil. Pretz is sad. Baby dragon transforms into a massive dragon that's not Bahamut. They lead a charge against the bad guys. The battle sequences are actually kind of badass. They struggle, boobs are bleeding. Lenali is temporarily evil because padding. She comes too. Mid dies. Batty is a threat. Hundreds of ugly bald chocobos save the day. Mid dies again, and the world is saved. Are you happy? Are you fucking happy?
A pirate's life for me!